my goodness. The curse of Chantal. I have to cough. My goodness. Back again. It looks like, I thought, Chantal had a good day at, early in the morning. Nobody was really watching that live stream. She had like 300 people in there. It was a pretty good live stream. No, she didn't choose violence in that live stream. And then we have this one. We have some feeder fodder that she loaded up. I don't know if this was requested, because I do remember somebody in that live stream brought up Taco Bell. She was talking about Taco Bell, and here we are. So I don't know if somebody paid for this crap, but here we go.
Hello, guys. Hello. Welcome back to another... Ow. Cheese sauce in my eye. We're off to a good start. So, it's Taco Bell Tuesday today. Buy one, get one free.
Is that a thing?
So, I have a double dia.
Excuse me, I don't know. Is that a thing at Taco Bell on Tuesdays? Do they give out free food? Or is she just saying
quesadilla,
that?
Whole cup of sour cream for these cheese fries.
Well...
And Pepsi Zero.
Props to you, Chantal. You're actually scooping the item out of the plastic container. You usually dip it, so props to you.
So yeah, let's dig in. Bismillah. Let's add some hot sauce to these fries. Yeah, on Tuesdays here, you buy one meal, you get one free.
I'm sorry, that looks so unappetizing on a cardboard box. It reminds me of breakdancing back in the day. Do you remember that? People used to get the cardboard boxes, spin on the sidewalk.
That's how it goes.
I just had a memory. My cousin, he was into that. And I remember in the living room, we were at my grandma's house, and she had thin, low carpet in the living room, and he was like showing me his breakdancing moves. And he did like the spin. I don't know what the technical term for it is. Like, when they go on their back and they like spin around, and he spun so fast that he like spun himself into the bookshelf and knocked things down. My grandma was so pissed. Funny memory.
So I thought I would do a mukbang. For those of you who like these videos and not just feeders.
Oh.
Normal people.
So is that some admittance to feeder requests? It kind of sounds like that. Like she just admitted to the feeders. Well, good for you, Chantal, being truthful. That looks disgusting. For the feeders.
I'm really hungry.
The feeder that paid for this Taco Bell meal. Yum.
So, the quesadilla is really good. The chicken is like seasoned very well. And it's cheesy.
It's Taco Bell now. Calm down.
So,
what?
I want to ask you guys something. I'm curious if it's just me or what kind of person you are.
And by the way, I have this sped up, so she's not actually tweaking. Like, she's moving kind of fast. It's sped up to 1.5.
Topic of discussion, if you will. I was watching a video. I came across a video on social media.
You don't say.
Of this guy goes around in public bothering people. He went into a restaurant, okay? And he saw this old man eating at a table alone. And he went up, like all the other tables were empty in the restaurant. And he went up to the guy and said, "Do you mind if I sit here with you?"
That's nice.
And the old man said, "Oh, sure." And then they struck up a conversation. And it was like one of those like two...
Jeffrey is back. I saw him buzz by. He came in just in time for the Taco Bell.
Theater tables too. So it wasn't like one of those bigger ones. And they started talking. And I saw in the comments, someone commented like, social media has ruined these kinds of interactions for us.
I agree.
And I'm wondering, like, what do you guys think about that? Like, would you... What if a guy came up to you and did that? Like, would you let them sit there?
Yes, I would say, sure. Why not?
Honestly, to situation like that, I feel like you're kind of forced into it because
No.
what answer are you going to give? No.
Do you know how many interesting people you just can meet randomly out in the wilds of society, whether it be at a restaurant, at a bar, at a store even? You bump into so many fascinating people with fascinating life stories that you could just strike up a conversation with. I often do that in public, and I meet so many nice people.
Just like a no, flat out, makes you look like a jerk. And if you say, like, what reason can you give other than, I don't like talking to people?
You could say, oh, well, I'm sorry, I'm actually meeting somebody. Sorry. I mean, you could say something like that. I mean, if you don't want to be rude, you don't have to be rude and just say no. But I'm assuming, considering it's you, you would be rude.
I would feel forced to say yes.
Wow. Antisocial much? A good place to meet like interesting people or like stories is a doctor's waiting room. Because sometimes depending on the type of doctor's appointment, how you're out in the waiting room for a long time. And if you strike up conversations with people, people have some interesting tales.
I would want to say no. I would not want a random stranger.
But yet you do this every day online, talking to random
Sitting there while I eat.
strangers. You do this online.
And I have to ask myself, like, why?
Wow. I don't think she lives in an alternate universe. I don't think she hears what she's saying, and she does the exact thing that she's saying that she wouldn't do. Okay.
And I feel like a mean, miserable, antisocial person when I realize that the answer is I have zero interest in talking to a stranger.
I mean, because of online dating, that's a good question. How do people like date? There's no such thing as like meeting somebody at a bar anymore, or you know what I mean, like meeting people someplace, where people, where single people, congregate. Whether I don't know. Yeah, it's just everybody's online dating. Do any people go to bars anymore? It's kind of sad. There is no like interaction face to face or even talking on the phone anymore. Everybody texts, don't even talk to people on the phone. Yeah, it is kind of weird. It's kind of creating an antisocial generation of people. Sad. Maybe that's why so many people have problems, especially of the younger generation, because they have no social skills at all, which tends to lead to like arguments and things.
It would annoy me too if there was like it was like full of empty seats in there. I mean, I think these videos are kind of like those social experiment videos on TikTok. Yeah.
Why does she... The way she always looks up at the ceiling. Chantal, put some posters or something on the top of the ceiling so you have something actually to look at up there.
You see a guy go into a grocery store, walk up to a random person, unsuspecting random person, and be like, I'm so hungry, can you buy me like a sandwich?
And I would buy them a sandwich. I've actually done that.
And then if one of the people say okay, he'll give them like $1,000. Those kind of things.
That's nice. I like that.
One of those kind of guys.
That's nice.
But
it's weird. She's kind of like looking at that like toward like it's negative or something. I actually like those videos. It kind of, gives hope for humanity that there still are people out there that actually give a crap about other people. But she's like looking at it as a negative. That's kind of weird. That says a lot about her. I mean, that says that she's definitely not giving to any kind of charity whatsoever now, actually.
I feel like it's like makes me realize, like, I don't think it's it's just me. I think like society as a whole. Is it that we're socially awkward with one another? Or is it just that
No.
we have unwritten social rules that we all just follow?
No,
And if they're broken,
it's a specific, I think it's actually a specific generation, and due to technology, that there is less social interaction between people. So it's just created this generation of just weird snowflakes, I guess you want to call them, that they don't know how to regulate anything. They don't, because when you interact with people and you grow up being around people and all of that, you kind of learn how to behave and, control emotion. Just human interaction. Human interaction kind of teaches you a lot growing up. And if you have generations of people that have the only human interaction that they probably have is maybe at school, if they even go to school, because a lot of people are homeschooled. So, I mean, you have that. You just have this whole generation of just awkward, weird people. It's sad.
we panic and we're like, what the hell?
Chantal's one of them.
You know what I mean? I found that interesting. So me, I personally would say yes, they can sit there, but I would in my head be saying no, please don't.
Wow, that's sad.
I wouldn't want to hurt their feelings.
So you'd rather be
If they're
fake.
nice. If they're weird or belligerent, like in a way
Is it more that you don't want to, do you want to not hurt their feelings, or you just don't want to tell the truth? I mean, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Why not just, say I'm meeting somebody or something like that? Why do you have to be fake? But I guess that's what you do every day. You put on a fake persona. Got it.
And I would just tell them to bugger off, probably.
Wow.
Quite honestly. Hi. What would you do? What would you do? Ask for a treat? What would you do? Hi, baby. I'm a slave to this cat.
I have
I
like
pet
this
her,
weird
treats.
thing. I don't know if I've ever watched this like in a movie or a show or something like that. I have like this weird feeling that, and I don't want to get like biblical or talk about religion in any kind of way at all. This is just the way I feel about it, is that if you see somebody like a homeless person, legit, I mean, you could tell the scammers from the homeless, especially here in Southern California. What if that person is like Jesus, or what if it's like an angel or something, and they're here, just seeing how people interact? Wouldn't you, like, you don't want to be mean. You never know who, like I said, you never know who people are, that are walking the earth. I don't know. It's always good to help somebody. I don't know. It's just the way I feel about it.
Food. Don't you bite. Hey, don't you bite Mom. She's gonna bite Mom, I can tell. Cheesy fries.
And it's like almost like
Anyways.
she cares more about her feelings towards the situation rather than being empathetic towards the other person. She'd rather not feel uncomfortable. So it's always like it always spins around to her. It's so weird. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know. She's a weird individual. Just really self-consumed narcissist.
Let me know your thoughts.
Why?
you wanna comment?
You're not gonna read or listen to any of them. Doesn't make any sense. She's going to say something like this, and then if she's going to have a live stream, just watch, and somebody's going to bring it up, or she's going to bring it up, this topic of conversation, and then people are going to say things in contradiction to her opinion, and then she's going to get upset, rage, block them. You know how the routine goes.
My favorite form of social interaction is with you guys online.
Which is a bunch of strangers. So make that make sense. She's
Hi,
not.
baby.
She's not full.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks for watching this.
Okay, so that's the end of that. I don't know. Like I said, I have that like feeling in the back of my head if like somebody comes up to you and they need help or something like that. I always have that feeling in the back of my mind, like you never know who they are. And it could be, a test for you, by a higher power to see how you feel about humanity. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. I'll see you when I see you. Bye.